Welcome to the EarlyONs. My name is Terry and I am Resource Consultant from Lansdowne Children's Center. Today we will be talking about temper tantrums. Have you ever been out shopping with your child and all of a sudden they spot this toy they must have, and when told no, they begin to cry and scream, sometimes throwing themselves down to the floor, kicking their legs and arms? Let me try to explain why children engage in this behavior, what triggers the upset, and what you should and should not do when it occurs. Temper tantrums are a normal part of child development. This is how young children show they are upset or frustrated. Children have tantrums for many different reasons, including being tired, hungry, or not feeling well. Children often have temper tantrums because they cannot have something they want, such as a toy, access to food, or attention from a parent. They have temper tantrums because it works for them. The child gets what they want, and in time this becomes a learned behavior. If you reward tantrums when something the child wants, or you allow the child to escape something they do not want to do, in time the child learns that this works for them and the temper tantrums will continue. Temper tantrums can be worse if the child does have limited vocabulary to be able to express themselves. Typically, temper tantrums begin between the ages of 12 to 18 months of age. You may see an increase between the ages of 2 to 3. Often, though not always, temper tantrums start to decrease around the age of 4 as a child has an increase in vocabulary skills and are beginning to understand their emotions. Children do not plan on frustrating or embarrassing their parents. Here are some facts about temper tantrums. The earliest stages, the terrible twos, occur when children are still learning to communicate. More than half of all children have tantrums one or more times a week. If not occurring on a regular basis, it's just best to ignore the tantrums. If occurring more often, you may want to look at what is causing the tantrums. What are the triggers that set off a tantrum? We know that more intense, hyperactive, moody children who do not adapt easily to change or new environments are more prone to having temper tantrums. Situations involving a change of transition can set them off. Being tired, hungry, children's tolerance become less and you will see an increase of tantrums. Remember, though, the easiest way to stop a temper tantrum is to give in to what the child wants, but the child soon learns to tantrum for everything they want. Here are some ways to control temper tantrums when they do occur. Keep calm when you respond to your child. Do not spank your child, as this will only make it worse. Let your child know clearly that having tantrums is not okay. Do not give in to the behavior. This may mean removing the child from a store, for example. Once the child learns that having tantrums does not get them what they want, hopefully they will stop having them. Let's look at ways to prevent or stop the tantrum before it occurs. Avoid situations where tantrums are likely to happen. Keep daily routines consistent and give a 5-minute warning before a transition. Communicate with your toddler. Tell them what is happening next in their day and stick to the routine. If you have to run an errand with your child, allow your child to carry a little toy or food with them. Be sure your child is well rested before going out. Keep desired food, for example, out of sight, not laying on the counter when it's almost dinner time. Give your toddler some control in their life by providing 2 choices. For example, do you want toast or cereal for breakfast? Or, do you want to wear pants or a dress today? Pick your battles with your child. Try to determine if a full meltdown is really worth not giving into 5 more minutes of having a TV time. Try to distract or redirect your child if they appear to be close to a tantrum. Perhaps doing something funny or showing them something out the window will keep their mind off of what is triggering the tantrum. Teach your child how to deal with frustration by having them tell you what is wrong if they can. If this is not possible, have pictures of different emotions available that you can show your child and put the emotions into words for them of how they might be feeling or thinking. Praise your child for controlling their temper tantrums when they do so appropriately. Here are some things you should not do with your child, as it may make things worse. Do not be too rigid with your child. Toddlerhood may represent the most stubborn, inflexible time in the life of your child. Too often, though, parents do not recognize this as a normal part of child development. Instead, you may feel frustrated and bewildered as your child seems to be irrational and out of control. In response, some parents tend to clamp down on their child. They hope that being a stronger disciplinarian, that their child will become less willful. Unfortunately, when you do this, you create a battle of wills. You create a tug-of-war between you and your child where nobody wins. Instead, the key is to be more flexible. Give the strong-willed child more choices, not fewer. Give your child a sense of control on issues that are not that important. Give simple choices on a daily basis. This may make it less likely that your child will fight you on the bigger stuff. On the other hand, don't be too flexible with your child. Remember, though, that too many choices can backfire. Don't become so flexible that your strong-willed child doesn't know what to do. Example, set guidelines for your child at bedtime. To do this, say something like, tonight we're going to read 2 stories and have 1 song and then it's time for bed. Toddlers need someone to be in charge, and that is you. While you can benefit from giving your child choices, you will also benefit from setting loving boundaries so your child can feel safe and satisfied in the choices she has made. Try to find balance that works best for you and your child. Don't reason with a defiant child. Children and toddlers are irrational by nature, and as a parent, it's important to simply accept that fact. Too often, parents work under the faulty assumption that if they can simply explain to their child having a tantrum won't work, the child will fall into line and stop misbehaving. As a result, many parents talk above the developmental level of their toddler. The outcome is simply more screaming and misbehavior by the child, and more stress and frustration for the parent. A rule of thumb is try to using approximately as many words as the age of your child. For example, if your 2-year-old bites, you say, "No biting." Then you remove her from the situation. If your 5-year-old starts having a tantrum in the middle of the store, you say, "We don't cry over toys," and then leave the store. The point is that a long, drawn-out speech by yourself solves nothing. Your young child or toddler will just tune you out. Instead, the best way to deal with a defiant toddler is to take swift, immediate action that involves the smallest number of words as possible. We as adults communicate in most rational and mature ways with other adults, so we assume we can do that the same with our toddlers. Bear in mind, though, your toddler lacks the maturity at this stage in their development to be reasoned with most of the time, so be as brief and calm as you can be. Don't scream back at your child. Toddlers between the ages of 2 to 6 often lose their tempers and scream. The main reason for this is the lack of maturity and the inability to express themselves, and they become verbally frustrated over not being able to process the situation that is happening in front of them. Toddlers don't know what to do when faced with a rush of emotions, so they do what comes natural. They have a fit. This type of behavior is perfectly normal for all toddlers. Nevertheless, they must learn that this is not acceptable in your house. Your job is to show the child the right way to react by modeling what they could say or do instead. Stay calm and consistent is the best way to teach them. By the way, if you find that you are having a hard time controlling your temper, seek out support in the form of friends, other parents that have the same aged children, or by taking parenting classes. And at the EarlyON, they offer Triple P. Having a support system during these difficult years of child rearing can be a lifesaver. Continually assess what is working and what isn't working when dealing with your toddler and make adjustments as necessary. Trust your instincts and implement rules in which you are comfortable with. In doing so, you will help not just your child, but your entire family. Last but not least, if your child is 4 or older and is hurting themselves or others through their behavior, you may want to consider discussing this with your family doctor or pediatrician to examine further. Thank you for joining me today in talking about temper tantrums.
A resource consultant from the Early Integration Program is available to talk to you should you want more information, support, or to discuss any concerns or questions you may have. Please contact us by email at eip@lansdowncc.com or by phone at 519-753-3153. Ask reception if you can speak to a resource consultant.